Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Hashin' It Out with Paul Hash, the show where I ask the questions that everybody forgot to ask. I'm Paul Hash and today I'll be talking to the godfather of soul, James Brown. I don't know about you, but I feel good. So grab a big bowl of mother popcorn and let's get on the good foot and talk to James Brown. James, it's well known that you have 10 children. When they were little, what did they call you? Was it Dad, Daddy, Father, or what did you prefer them to call you?
The Godfather, so.
Recently, at one of your concerts in Thailand, your show was interrupted by a large band of rogue howler monkeys who began throwing feces at the stage and audience. What is your advice for them?
I would tell them to be uniformed at all times and work very, very hard and believe in what they're doing.
Legend has it that you were actually expelled from school for constantly referring to your teacher as a sex machine. Was that in kindergarten or first grade?
I can't remember. It just something kind of grew on me. I didn't get a chance to get a formal education, so not getting an education, you had to do the best thing you could, you know.
James, you were just 7 years old when you lost your virginity and won a spelling bee contest. Can you tell me where this happened?
I think the Lenox Theater on 9th Street in Augusta, Georgia. The Lenox Theater. I won first prize there. And then I went to the Harlem Theater on Gwinnett Street, which is now a church. And the Lenox Theater is no longer there. It's been torn down.
Just out of curiosity, what was the word that won you that spelling bee contest?
Subsidiaries.
James, when you were a child, you were teased and picked on relentlessly by the other kids. What kind of horrible names did they call you?
You call Mr. Dynamite, the amazing Mr. Please, Soul Brother #1. I've had a lot of names throughout the days. The hardest working man in show business.
James, you are known to be a connoisseur of all genres of music. 247 years ago, Ludwig van Beethoven was born. What's your opinion on him?
I think he's a fine man. I think anytime a man at his age is that active and want to do a job, I think my hat's off to him.
Okay. James, you've been known to have a temper at times. Backstage at one of your recent concerts, you became enraged and accused your band members and crew of stealing a box of ho-hos. Did you ever find out who the culprit actually was that stole that box of ho-hos?
Johnny Cash.
What are your thoughts on the comedian Gallagher? He's the comic famous for wearing suspenders and roller skating around the stage and then smashing watermelons with a giant hammer.
I saw some of his tapes, and I saw my old show that I used to do a long time ago. He's following James Brown's footsteps. He said I'm his idol, and I appreciate that very, very much.
James, what's your thoughts on Joey Chestnut? He's the world hot dog eating champion that recently ate 72 hot dogs in just 10 minutes.
I thought he was a fantastic young man, energetic, and had a lot of good thoughts and concerned about humanity. And sometimes, anytime somebody's concerned about humanity, we got to be concerned about them because we want them to continue on.
James, before this interview, you got to hear a demo of one of my former bands, the Mighty Penguins. Can you give me your honest opinion about it? Okay, can you at least tell me which song you thought was the best?
I like
As you know, Piggly Wigglies are a grocery store chain that is predominantly in the southern United States. In what other cities would you like to see an expansion of Piggly Wigglies?
Baltimore. I'd like to see one in Chicago, Cleveland, Boston, Philadelphia, Detroit. I'd like to see one in Kansas City, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas.
Alright, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning into this episode of Hashing It Out with Paul Hash, the show where I ask the questions everybody forgot to ask. In case you haven't figured it out yet, I'm Paul Hash, because you just can't make that kind of crap up. So be sure to join me next time for the season finale of Hashing It Out with Paul Hash, where I will have something very special in store. I think. Maybe. I don't know.
Excuse me.